Hey, band parents. I wanted to take a minute and explain to you what all of the volunteer teams look like for the Lone Star Band so that you can feel a little more comfortable jumping in and having an idea of what you might be doing when you sign up to volunteer. First one we'll talk about is meals. As you can imagine, it takes an army to feed 240 kids all at one time. Our meal team is full of rock stars. They arrive at this for a game day. They arrive at the school around 4 o'clock. You check in at the front office and head to the cafeteria where the food will be waiting for you to set up. Other people go grab that for us. Between 4 and 4:25, you'll have time to set up the meals, get an assembly line going, and have everything ready for when the kids walk in the room around 4:30. When the kids start coming in, my favorite thing that the meal team does is greet each kid with a smile. Sometimes the kids have had a rough day at school. It takes a minute to decompress and switch gears from, oh my goodness, that test was hard, to, okay, now I have to go and do all things band. The meal team, the people who work in this, are amazing at greeting each kid with a smile, maybe trying to get them to laugh a minute, helping them grab their food, and then the kids go off and sit with their friends where they quickly eat and head off to get changed and do everything else they need to do band related to get ready for their game. Once the kids are all gone, the meal team does a quick wipe down of the cafeteria, and then they're able to go about the rest of their evening. They're usually out of the school by 5:30 at the latest. Meal team also serves the meals at competitions. That looks a little bit different. That happens a little bit later in the season. You'll be comfortable working with the meal team by the time a competition comes up, so you'll have a better idea of what that might look like. Chaperones are another team of rock stars. The chaperones arrive at the school around 5:15, and these volunteers can enter through the band hall because school is no longer in session. Chaperones have a quick meeting, find out anything unique happening for the game that day, and then when the kids load the bus, the chaperones ride the bus with them to the game. While on the bus, the students are in charge of the bus behavior. They call roll, they monitor any misbehaving on the bus. So all you get to do is ride and chat with a friend on the way to the event. And then when the students get off the bus at the event, the chaperones do a quick walkthrough, make sure nothing important was left behind, and then head out to join the band. At a football game, when the band is performing, there's not anything for the chaperones to do necessarily. They're busy doing their job. So the chaperones can hang out together in the stands and relax for a little while. Once halftime comes, there's a lot of different roles that the chaperones do. They help field crew push equipment, they hand out plumes, and do a little odds and ends here and there during halftime just to help out with the band. During the third quarter, the band has a break. Chaperones kind of monitor the break a little bit, make sure no one eats in uniform or nobody has any concerns. And then they go back into the stands. Once the game is over, chaperones do a quick check of the stands, make sure nothing's left behind, ride the bus back. When the kids exit, do a quick walkthrough of the bus, and then you're good to go for the evening. The kids are great. They're always well behaved, and they have come to trust the chaperones. So as long as you're sitting together, they'll come and find you if they need something. Most often what they need is a Band-Aid or help with a uniform, little stuff that's super easy to solve. Field crew is one of our other favorite teams to serve on. The field crew is our largest team. Every time the band performs, it takes 20 parents to do the field crew task. Field crew involves everything that touches the field during a performance. So front ensemble pushes a lot of equipment out. Some of them play more than one instrument, so they need an extra set of hands to push the instruments to the field. We also bring with us a lot of sound equipment and speakers and such, so that all needs to be pushed out, as well as all of our props. So when the field crew typically arrives at the school around, I'm going to say 4:30, 5 o'clock, it's going to vary a little bit, loads up all the props into our trucks, and then they head out and they try to get to the venue a few minutes before the band arrives. Unload the props, put the props together, get things ready to go, and then the field crew can go and watch the game until a few minutes before halftime. right before halftime, they meet up, they get everything lined up, push everything out to the field, kind of hang back, and you watch the show from the field, but you're hidden a little bit so that not everybody can see us. And then when the performance is over, you help push everything off the field, break down the props, get them stored back up, and then you go watch the rest of the game in the stands. Our concessions team is one of our most valuable commodities. These guys help us raise money at a few different venues. We typically do concessions at Kirkendall Stadium as well as Toyota Stadium. It takes more than 20 people to successfully staff one of these concession stands. They have a great time. Some of them just work cashiers. Some of them are runners to grab the orders. Some people do the making of nachos. It varies by the venue, but you can sign up to do whichever type of task you prefer. But we raise a lot of money for the band working concessions, so this is super valuable. The photography team, this group, the kids love the photography team. They are actively waiting to see what pictures get posted after every event. So the photography team is our own paparazzi that travels with us. Some of them take photos from the stands, some of them are on the field, and they capture kids just living their best life. They capture photos of the kids living their best life. These photos get posted to our Smug Mug page, and all of these photos end up creating our end of year video as well as our end of year memory book. These are the teams that have recurring tasks. I should add, field crew, it is helpful if you do this a lot. Once you learn how to do it the first week, you will typically have a good time and want to come back. It's really hard to jump into field crew late in the season. So if you're interested in field crew, we would love to have you towards the beginning of the season so that you can learn how the props are built that year, because as we get closer to the end of the season, we end up on timed events where we only have so much time to break down our props and load our trucks, that the more experience we have with our field crew, the faster that goes for us. The other ones, you can jump in and out and try whatever your schedule allows. Here's some other opportunities that aren't recurring per se, but there's opportunities throughout the season. Depending on the year, we might have props that we're building ourselves. When the opportunity for prop building arises, we'll send out communications and tell you we're building props on a certain day and ask you to come and bring certain tools with you. There's a lot of bonding that comes with that one. It's a great experience. Uniform help comes up throughout the season. The bibbers, that's the pants of the marching uniform, those get adjusted in length for each student and it changes every year. So quite often we have to iron those just to make them look correct. Sometimes we need help fixing a uniform that needs repair. Sometimes we need assistance tagging them for dry cleaning. All of this is typically done while the band is in an outdoor rehearsal so that we have access to the band hall. A sign up will come out when these events come up, so keep a look out for that. U-Haul driver. The boosters rent a U-Haul each marching season to help transport the rest of our equipment. So it requires a parent to drive the U-Haul to the event and back. If you're interested in driving a U-Haul, contact Jennifer, the president, or come to our volunteer meeting and we'll talk to you about what that looks like. We also typically rent a cargo trailer that is pulled by a personal vehicle. Some years we have to take it to every event. We're hoping that this year with the trailer improvements, we only have to take it to a couple of events just based on logistics of those venues. But if you're interested in using your personal vehicle to pull our cargo trailer, we could use your help. Again, you can contact the president at lshsband.com email address or talk to us at our volunteer meeting. Medical and first aid, we added this recently. One of our chaperone spots at competitions is now dedicated to someone who can assist with small medical things, typically a nurse or someone with first aid training. They are chaperone, but they handle all of our medical issues that arise, which is typically heat exhaustion, the occasional upset tummy. Sometimes there's a sprained ankle. This person just helps us triage the situation, and then if the matter needs to be escalated to the on-site paramedics, they'll help us do that. And we also need help with business sponsorships. If you love contacting businesses and asking them to sponsor us, we would love to have your help. You can email president@lshsband.com and let them know you're interested in helping with business sponsorships, or you can come to our volunteer meeting and we'll talk to you about it then. We hope to see you at our meeting soon. Thanks.